Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you might be at this moment in time. Welcome back to the Same Old Arsenal podcast. Joining us this evening, of course, the judge. Mr. Judges, how are you, sir?
Oh, good. Thank you very much. All good. After our winning the Community Shield, I'm a little bit heavier.
Oh, good. I'm good. Not classing that one as a draw, then, no?
Nah.
No, come on. No, you know what I mean? Listen, if that was
It's
a
funny,
chance.
isn't it? It's funny, actually, because people were calling the win on penalties against Munich a draw. No, it was only a draw. Beat Chelsea on penalties, it's a win.
Yeah, but I will say this: if it was a final of some sort, like say, and it went to penalties, you'd still class it as a win, wouldn't you?
You would, of course. Of course you would. Of course you would. Joining us this evening, a pleasure to have him on the show. Those of you who regularly tuned into the Gooner Talk know that I've had Harry on the Gooner Talk, where we've done a little interview with him about his Arsenal story. But he joins us tonight talking about the Arsenal and about the weekend, and of course some more waffle as we get later on into the podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Harry Shotter, how are you, sir?
Yeah, it's good to be on the podcast, mate. As you know, I listen every week. I never miss one. So to actually
number one fan, mate.
Yeah, I am a big fan, man. To be honest, obviously you get to do a lot of traveling with music and stuff like that. So I always get to listen to the podcast at the airports, on the plane, and stuff like that. So it's always
wicked, mate. Thanks very much.
We're honoured, don't we? We're honoured at that.
Absolutely honoured, mate.
Absolutely honoured.
I ain't joking either.
No, it's a big thing, So.
Where you been this week, mate, Harry? Where you been? Been jetting around?
I was over in Prague on Saturday night for a big drum and bass festival. It's one of the biggest ones in Europe, actually, called Let It Roll.
Yeah.
So that was huge. I was over there with some legends, Shabba, Skibbity, and Fantasy and Storming. So we was over there as a group, did a group performance, literally did the gig, flew back, had about 3 hours, and then woke up for the football. So yeah.
That's dedication for you. That's a dedication for you. That is. Lee, you've been because look, Harry, I know you listen to the podcast every week. This fella seems to get in the back door at all these little sporting events and that.
Yeah.
Anywhere this week, Lee?
No, well, just Wembley of course, on Sunday. So
Director's box.
No, I was in club. We went in Club Wembley this time. I had a choice, and I decided to go Club Wembley, but not again. You know what I mean? Not again. No free beer. You used to go in here, get a few free beers and a few little perks.
You've had enough free fucking beer.
I suppose so. But we did get a free programme. So.
Well, that's the result.
It ain't all doom and gloom, So I just before we go on, I just got to mention I'm on the charity walk with Robbie tomorrow. So I've got to be up early for that. So
lovely. That's great. Yeah, massive good cause.
He absolutely got soaked today. I'm glad I didn't choose today. It was absolutely horrendous. But I'm on the walk tomorrow, so hopefully it'll be a little bit better tomorrow. So
whereabouts are you going tomorrow, Lee?
We are going from Crystal Palace to Chelsea, and then Chelsea to our second home, which is Wembley. So it's the longest part of the day.
That's actually all right, isn't it? Because if you walk to Crystal Palace to Stamford Bridge, quick toilet break.
Yeah. They should have a little quick break and
then off to Wembley. I like that.
Apparently, they're going to let us into the stadium as well tomorrow. So I don't know.
Good.
So that should.
Well, it's for a great cause. If anyone's watching,
if I can donate to Robbie, that would be fantastic. Because it's a great cause for all us gentlemen, isn't it? So.
Absolutely. Robbie is walking around to each London stadium, is he?
That's correct, yeah. He's doing today, done West Ham to Crystal Palace. As I said, tomorrow it's Crystal Palace to Chelsea, then to Wembley, because that unfortunately is Spurs' home ground for the season. So that's why they're doing all the London clubs, and then finishing on the Friday from Wembley to the Arsenal for the opening game of the Premiership, which is of course on Friday.
Yeah, great stuff. And Robbie's doing that in aid of prostate cancer.
He's doing that.
So if you can, follow Robbie at Man Like Robbie, or of course follow him at Arsenal Fan TV. Support him if you can. You never know when you might need it.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Remember, actually, while we're on the subject, when you're in the shower, always check your balls. Anyway, so on Sunday, we beat the Chavs in the Charity Shield final. Well, of course it was a win. always nice to beat them. And I actually sat at the bar because we took the kids away for the weekend this weekend, and I actually sat at the bar with a rather nice Chelsea fan, and it was very amicable, I must say.
Yeah.
And it was great because we were talking about how much we hate Spurs.
The mutual hate.
And if it's one thing, it's unbelievable, honestly. We actually have got a lot in common with Chelsea fans. I don't know if they hate them more than us, to be honest with you, the way he was carrying on.
Yeah. I call Chelsea the lesser of two evils myself.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, I think that's a good way to put them, mate, actually. We beat them. Some lovely performances in there. Lacazette, unlucky not to score, of course, hitting the post. I think he showed us... I was quite impressed with him, I've got to say. The way he took that ball and the way he got it out of his feet to open his body up for the shot was a touch of class, if you ask me. Petr Cech played very well, I thought. Granit Xhaka. Who else kind of stood out?
El Neni, I thought we had a very good game.
Yeah, El Neni, that's right. Yeah, he really stood out for me.
Yeah, I thought we had a good game.
Chamberlain, yeah. I thought his crossing was a bit poor, but then when I sat back, he was on the left-hand side, I suppose.
That's the thing with when he's on the left, he never seems to be comfortable in that position. It's a shame.
Yeah, it is a shame because I think we quite lack down the left-hand side when we've got no Sanchez there. But perhaps I was just being a bit too harsh on him. Anyway, Harry, what were your thoughts on Sunday's game?
Yeah, well, to me, like, I know it's a friendly, do you know what I mean? I know it's only the Charity Shield and all that, but to me, it's never a friendly when we play Chelsea. And also, to me, it sets a standard, I think, for the Leicester game and for the rest of the season. So, to me, it was quite an important game. I was very amped to watch it from the moment it started. I thought we were the better team. I thought we had some lovely footwork going on from Iwobi as well. I don't think you mentioned, but I think he had a really good start to the game as well. You know, Welbeck was straight out the front, a lot of speed, a lot of pace. Like you said, Lacazette, great movement. I think we were the better team the whole first half. I went to the shop. It was quite funny. I went to the shop just to get a couple of beers for the second half. And, you know, I missed the beginning of the second half, and I couldn't believe they scored so quickly. And I thought, this is typical Arsenal. This is just us, like, you know, to play so well for that first half and then come out and be sucker punched in the second. Do you know what I'm saying? But I think we recovered well. Like you say, I think Xhaka and El Neni were brilliant in the roles they played. I think Xhaka, like, I think this season, I think we're going to see the best of him.
Yeah.
I think obviously he came and there was a lot of sort of promise and a lot of people were on him, so much pressure, and he had a bit of a rough season. I think especially with referees as well, they were really onto him. But I think the way he bossed it in that match on Sunday was brilliant. And obviously our new player who we got for free, you know, the tank.
Oh, mate, what a tank. Yeah, what a beast.
Absolute beast, man. Some of the runs he was doing, like, it was actually very encouraging, you know what I mean? And it's like, I mean, I watched the YouTube of the podcast you did last week, and I was feeling much the same as you guys, a little bit negative about sort of going into this season. I know it's only a friendly, but it did lift my spirits a bit watching the way some of the players were playing and some of the form we had in the game. Do you know what I'm saying? But I still think there's a long way to go. I still think, I mean, what's going on with Lamar? Do you know what I mean? I still think we've got defensively. It worries me that Gabriel's going now, Chambers being sold. What's the definitive back three? Do you know, I've still got worries. But in terms of the game, on a positive note, I enjoyed the game. I thought we took the penalties like bosses as well. You know, Morata comes on, he does, you know, basically nothing. He misses his penalty. You know what I mean? So I think all in all, I enjoyed the day. I enjoyed the game. Let's hope some of that can carry on to where it really matters.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. You couldn't have put it up better myself. Let's talk a bit about Xhaka. He came with, you know, a hefty price tag at the time of £35 million. Didn't quite do it. Let's say this season, and as Harry rightly says, I think bullied a bit by the referees. I think some of the decisions the referees made against him last year. But as you know, I've actually backed him up, haven't I? Over the past year, and I think my backup is going to come to fruition, if you like. I think we're going to see the best of Xhaka this year, Lee. What are you saying, mate?
Yeah, I think Xhaka's a very interesting one last season. I think he summed up Arsenal completely last season. I think that sometimes he was outstanding, sometimes he was all right, and other times he was poor. And I think there were just inconsistencies all around his game. as there was the team. Very interesting what Wenger said today, that, you know, he expects performances levels of the team to go up a grade. And, you know, like, so if Xhaka can start playing like we know he can do, if he plays like that every week, I think we was all saying last season that he wouldn't, how many players would get into the Spurs team and Xhaka wouldn't be one of them. But if he produces that performance level week in, week out, he'd get into most teams in the Premier League, Craig. You know, I thought
absolutely.
His passing range was very, very good. But he's got to do it at a consistent level. What I will say about Xhaka, and, you know, all right, it is a friendly, but it is against one of the big boys, Chelsea. I thought he was outstanding in the FA Cup final as well. He really had a very, very good game there as well. So I'm hoping that, you know, that if he can have a real consistent season. I also think that he was producing a good partnership with Ramsey. They looked like they was complementing each other quite well. But in saying that, I thought Elneny done very, very well in there. And it'd be interesting, you know, to see what'll happen on Friday night, whether he goes with them two, or he could, in fact, and I've just something that I've just sort of been thinking about today, coming on it, he could actually put Chamberlain into that role of what Ramsey was doing, you know, because we're at home. I think Leicester will be very, very defensive, so it may be that we could well do with more of an attacking option. So I think it could happen. It might not, depending whether Ozil plays as well, of course. But I would love to see the Tank play on that left-hand side as that wing-back role instead of Chamberlain. If I
BFB.
Oh, you know,
BFB, the big fucking Bosnian.
Yeah. If he's powering down there on that left-hand side, and you've got, say, Bellerin coming down the right side, or you know, if he chooses to go with Elneny, I think at the end of the day that Chamberlain should come over to the right over at Bellerin, in my opinion. I would really like to see us. It'd be an interesting scenario. But, you know, going back to Xhaka, I think that we perhaps need a little bit more attacking thrust coming from there, and I think Chamberlain could give us that. But as far as I'm concerned, you know, it's a big season for Xhaka. A lot of people keep saying, oh, you know, he's going to be the next captain for us, and he's going to be this and going to be that. I'm just going to watch what he does this season, just see how he goes, because I think that there's something that I like about him. I'm going to be honest, there's something that I like about him, but there's something that I'm not quite sure about, you know, and I think it is the level of consistency. But if the one criticism I've got of him is probably just he lacks a little bit of pace, you know, to get across the park a little bit. But that's just a slight criticism. But other than that, you know, some of his passes and his effort, you know, makes them so effortlessly. He just glides the ball across, caresses it across the park is the word I think I'm looking for. And it, you know, reminds me a little bit of Edu. You know, remember Edu, sort of player like Edu and Petit, that sort of role. If you could get into that, I loved them. You know, I mean, if you could get into that sort of mould, I think we've got a real player there. And you know, second season, someone said today, funny enough, talking to him, that Robert Perez didn't have the greatest of first season, and look what he done after that. So let's try and be positive today, eh? Like, you know what I mean on that.
Yeah, absolutely. Like Harry touches on the beast, Kolasinac.
Is that how you say it?
I've watched the video on YouTube of him pronouncing his name, and he pronounces it Kolasinac.
Kolasinac. Right.
We had someone else on. I think it was James. I think was calling him. I can't even remember what it was calling him now, but it didn't sound anything like that. So if you're watching, James, sorry, mate, but you need to go and have a look at that YouTube video, mate. Kolasinac. Yeah. Kolasinac.
Can we just call him the? Can we just call him the Tank? I just think that's
call him the Tank, actually. Yeah. Or the BFB.
The BFB, yeah.
Yeah. So Harry, I mean, we got free transfer, mate.
He looked great.
Yeah, free transfer.
I know. Yeah, that was actually a great bit of business. Sometimes with Arsenal as well, I think we've lacked that strength, especially in defence. So, like, to have someone as strong as that kind of pulsing down is like incredible. I think he's going to be a major asset to the team this season.
Same here.
He can play as well, Harry. He can play as well, can't he? You know, I was impressed with the way he plays as well. You know, he's not just all brawn, is he? He's got a bit of finesse as well, you know. So
yeah,
if Arsenal do go and spend another £100 million in the transfer window and buy a couple of players, I think I'm going to get his name on me back now.
You reckon that cost you a bit?
Yeah, well, I don't matter.
Cost you 50 quid to get his name on the back.
Yeah, it'd be worth it though, Craig, because everything he just epitomises everything that we've lacked over the last few years.
Yeah, pity he ain't a central midfielder, isn't
it? Yeah. I love him. I love him already, and it's only.
I do. I think he's and after scoring that goal, I think he's become an Arsenal hero immediately. Yeah. And it's good for him, and I'm delighted for him because, I think when I look at him, I just wouldn't want to be a right back coming up against him. Imagine him running towards you. I mean, the geezer's about 15 stone.
No. Yeah, the good thing about it is if he sat down in your seat, you'd just allow it, wouldn't you?
Of course you
would. You just go and move to another table.
That's like another one, like Sanchez, isn't it? If you found him in bed with your missus, you'd make him a cup of tea.
Yeah, I just say, like, you sit there, you sit there, the tank, I'll move, you know what I mean?
You're a liar.
That's what we need, though.
Totally need that, like, you know what I mean? Exactly, like, you know, like, do you want, you can imagine it in training, like, he's got the ball, everybody just goes, feel free, do what you want, fill your boots, mate. You know what I mean? I think it's fantastic. And if we could get another two of him, I said it like in an interview. If we get another two of him, we could win the league. You know what I mean? So,
like I said before, Arsene Wenger needs massive. Arsene Wenger needs massive credit for that bit of business. Get him on a free transfer, German team of the year. I mean, you're looking 25-30 million if you were going to buy him, if not more.
Yeah.
Story of the week, lads. Obviously, well, there's two stories of the week, really. Sky Sports reporting that Barcelona and Liverpool, I think, are looking at buying Lamar. Looks like we might lose out on him after I was pretty confident that we were going to get him. People telling me that, again, all week, people telling me that I'm overreacting. Yada, yada, yada. But what I want to know is this. We've seen Neymar move from Barcelona to PSG this week in a day. One day. 220 million. There you go. Thank you. There you go. Done. Now, why is it taking Arsenal 8 weeks, 9 weeks to get this transfer across, to get it done? People are saying to me, well, the Neymar deal has been talked about 3 weeks ago. Well, I said, all right, well, even still, 3 weeks is no time to get a transfer over. Why does it take us so long to get a transfer over the hill, Harry? I mean, all right, people are going to say, but Lacazette was done quickly. That's fine. Lacazette was done quickly, and I hold my hands up to that. But what's going on with this Lamar deal, mate? What do you reckon's happening?
Yeah, it's perplexing. It's perplexing. I mean, what we're looking at now, perhaps, is the fact that Arsenal were trying to offload players. Do you know what I'm saying? Your Debussys, your Jenkinsons, all these sort of guys, Gibbs, even Callum Chambers. Do you know what I'm saying? But some of them don't want to go because they don't want to take the price cut.
Absolutely.
And it could be a case of, this is a problem we face where we're holding too much dead wood that gets in the way of us getting in the players we really need. Do you know what I'm saying? This is maybe a philosophy or something that's going down, but I just can't believe it. I thought this was going to be a done deal literally about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. I've spoken to people that have supposedly got a few inside stories and stuff, and it's supposed to happen, and it's like, why is it not happening? There's no real logic to it. It goes back to a lot of the things with Arsenal over the years, where people like us can just see what to do, certain moves to make. The fans can see how to make things happen, and we as a club don't seem to act fast enough. We still even with Lamar, with the money, just pay 60 million, just deal with it, deal with the matter. The money's there. You know what I'm saying? We Arsenal fans, all the money we pay when we go to watch the match, all the money we pay for the bloody 3 or 4 or 5 kits or whatever it is, and you've got to make these things happen. Arsene Wenger, I believe that, I wanted Wenger out personally this last season. Do you know what I'm saying? The contract's been extended now. It's 2 years. We're going to deal with that. But I expected him to really go all out to make these kind of deals happen now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? That's why you're supposed to do something with his position now, but he knows that whatever happens, he's nice. He's there for life. Do you know what I'm saying? So there isn't the urgency. There never seemed to be that urgency to go so strong at the start of the season. You look at last season with the Liverpool game. our defence is all over the place. You know, how much is it any better this year? I mean, we're probably in a little bit of a stronger position, but not really. Do you know what I'm saying? And we shouldn't be feeling like that as fans. You know, these are the deals that should be done. Lamar's, you know, even we've got the Van Dijk situation now. You know, he'd be perfect for us.
Oh, we should be going all in, mate, for him.
We should be going all in for that. Do you know what I'm saying? We can see, we can see what we need, you know, and it's not happening. What the other guy, Seri as well? Why aren't we not closing on that? It's not just Lamar. There's a few other people that we should be locking down. And really, because I think if we lock down Seri, Lamar, and a Van Dijk, I'd have confidence that we're challenged for the league this season. But without certain players in place, I'm still not sure, mate.
Yeah. So so Harry, at this moment in time, right? What do you reckon is a successful season for us this year? Do you think we're going to, you know, do you think we're going to challenge the top three, or do you think it's all about trying to get into that fourth spot?
Yeah, to be honest, as a fan, I'm sick and tired of the fourth spot. You know what I mean? I was obviously gutted that we didn't get Champions League. Do you know what I mean? As an Arsenal fan, you always want to play in Europe, but we've seen over the years, it's just disappointment after disappointment. I just want to challenge. I want to challenge for the Premiership. I want us to win the Premiership. I want us to win. I'm sick and tired of all the jokes. I'm sick and tired of everyone telling me constantly Sanchez is he's going to City all the time, and I'm just constantly taking the piss out of Arsenal and our fans. Do you know what I'm saying? And I want the board and Wenger to do something about it. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm just sick of it. I want to challenge for the Premiership title. I'm not really content with coming second. When we came second to Leicester, I wasn't content with that. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not really content. I mean, obviously we want to challenge, and I realised that, you know, Man U are spending a lot of money, City are killing it, even Everton, the money they're spending now, they're going all that kind of do their thing.
Everton is a good point, and all. I tell you, Everton's a great point.
Yeah, they're doing. I mean, it pains me to Tottenham that we haven't beaten for so long. It's these kind of things that pain me as an Arsenal fan. Do you know what I'm saying? So to finish top four to me is so what kind of thing. I want to win the Premier League. That's what I want for the team personally.
Well, you've echoed my feelings, mate.
Yeah.
If someone offered me a Premier League or the Champions League, I'd take the Premier League. Some people might laugh at me, but I'd take the Premier League all day long, and then go into the Champions League as champions.
As champions,
yeah, exactly. Lee, where do you see us, mate? What are we doing? Are we at the moment in time? I mean, I'll put out a tweet today to say that I don't think we're nowhere near.
No, we're nowhere near.
Right, and then I got a tweet back from a guest, one of our guests, Wayne, who everyone knows, and he put a squad picture up of Cech, Klosniak, Cech, Koscielny, Mustafi, Holding, Bellerin, Klosniak, Xhaka, Ramsey, Ozil, Sanchez, Lacazette. And he said to me, that doesn't look too bad, does it? And I said, no, you know, it doesn't look too bad. But the problem is, Lee, how many times this season is that team going to play together?
Yeah, my point of that as well is that let's just take that back three for a start. You know what I mean? Mustafi, Koscielny, and who was the other one he said? Holding. Well, our best defender over the last sort of 10, 11 games when we've been playing that back three has been Monreal, without a shadow of a doubt. You know what I mean? So how can you leave him out? So that's my first argument. The second argument is that all those players, we come fifth in the league. You're only looking at one change. You know, like we still conceded 3 goals at was it 3 goals at Palace, 3 goals at West Brom with Cech in goal, with Koscielny playing there, with Mustafi playing there. This is the thing that worries me about Arsenal at the moment is people saying, "Oh, don't get doom and gloom. It's only about it. You know, the season hasn't even started." What have we really improved from last season to now for everybody to be convinced that we're going to go on and challenge for the league? Because I don't see it. You know, the tank, yes, he's going to do. You know, that's a great addition, but it ain't. You know, right? It's not enough, Craig. What I want to see. And this is why I've been disappointed with Arsenal and Arsene Wenger, if I'm being honest, is that we had a chance here to really do something this year and make a statement. And that statement is, let's go big in certain areas. And I think that the Lacazette one's a great signing, as the tank is, like, yeah. But also, you know, what happens if Rob Holding gets injured or Koscielny breaks down? What have we got to come into that setup? We've got Mertesacker. We've got Chambers, we don't know that's going to be there. Oh, but we can shift. We can shift the tank in and play him as a central defender. But I want to see him powering down the left-hand side.
Yeah.
You know, and I just think that, you know, I know that there's certain things. Just a little bit about Lamar. Lamar, I think Arsenal have spoken to Lamar and he said that he wants to come. So they try to haggle the best deal they possibly can. Now, I don't know what's going on with Van Dijk, whether Arsenal spoke to him. We never know. And he said, no, I don't want to come to Arsenal. I want to play Champions League and I want to go to Liverpool. You don't know. But as far as I can see, if you really, really want to go for the title, and it's not just this season, Craig, you know what I mean? Like this Van Dijk is 26 years of age. He's Premiership proven. He's big and strong. He's everything that we need as a defender. And, you know, Koscielny's not going to be around for 2 or 3 seasons, but this guy is. Why don't we just say, like, you know, I'll go back to George Graham. You know, John Lukic was a very, very good goalkeeper, but David Seaman come along and George Graham was ruthless and said, you know what, he's the best goalkeeper in the league. He's available. I'm going to go out and get him. The fans at that time, Craig, as you probably remember, were a little bit in uproar of it. But was it the right decision? Yes, because long term it proved it. You know what I mean? And I think that we've got to look, you know, not just at this season, next season as well. And I just think that he's a quality player. I look at El Neni and I look at Xhaka. 2 good central defence, 2 central midfielders. But can it be improved? And the answer to that is yeah. Arsene Wenger has turned around over the last 5 years and give us the old tosh. It's very, very hard to find quality players to replace, to get what I've got into the team. Well, we come 5th in the league last season, Craig. If you can't improve on players 5th in the league, then you've got a serious problem about your job. Now, I accept that, you know, we've got to, you know, the likes of Xhaka, the likes of so-and-so, the likes of all that have all got up their game. But I put out a tweet the other day, you know, we beat Chelsea, but Chelsea are a different animal without Hazard and Costa. And you get back, yeah, but we didn't have Sanchez playing, we didn't have Ozil playing, we didn't have Ramsey playing, we didn't have Mustafi playing. And my answer to that is, well, they all played last season and we come 5th. Please do not forget that. All those players, your Sanchez's, your Ozils, your Ramses, Mustafis, they all played in last season's team on a regular basis. We come 5th. So you've got to, you know, you've got to get it into perspective of where we are at this moment in time. You know, yes, we've had a great win over each other. I think there has been slight improvements on our defensive side. I feel a little bit more confident. How you guys feel.
Secondly, you've turned into a bit of an alien, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, or your voice is coming out of a spaceship or something.
Oh, right. I know. So, but
try going out and coming back in, mate. We'll just hang on for you.
Hold on.
Oh no, hang on. It might be all right now. Say something. Say hello. Right? Yeah, that's better. Yes, carry on, mate. Carry on.
Yeah. So I don't know where I got, but that's where I feel at the moment that we are. We're in a, you know, there's what I believe is that people are seeming to think that, oh, it's a new season. We're going to be, all these players are going to start off and be fantastically well. We come 5th in the league last season. Now you look at Manchester United that come 6th in the league last season, and they've gone and spent the money where they've needed to do it. Like, you know, they needed a centre forward to replace. I can't think his name now. Zlatan. And they've got that. But what they've done also with that, Craig, is they've got a guy 10 years younger.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So they've improved that. You know what I mean? Like, I believe that we do need a central defender. I really do. And Van Dijk is available. And give him an offer that can really, really matter. You know, also a little thing there, if with Liverpool at the moment, would you want to go to Liverpool at the moment? Because I think they're going to lose Coutinho. And that puts them down a little bit there, you know. So I just think that Arsenal, if they really wanted to show us the ambition, we're 2 players, I think, away from really doing well. A good, solid central defender to improve on an El Neni week in, week out, but still have El Neni in the squad, and a central defender to improve on what we've got. And if you can't find a central defender that's better than Mustafi, Mertesacker, Holding and Koscielny, then you shouldn't be in the job.
Well, Well, Van Dijk's for me is that guy. He's there.
He's
man.
that guy, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we could get him for what? What are we going to be paying for him?
60 million? 60 million?
60 mil for a 26-year-old?
But if it was me, Craig, I'd turn around and say, well, I'll tell you what, we'll give you 50 million for him and we'll give you Chambers for a season on loan to cover it.
Yeah.
Something like that. I wouldn't want to lose Chambers, by the way. I think that another little loan spell. Give them something to think, do you know what? Yeah, do you know what? Hold on, we can get 60 million for him, plus we get Chambers for a year. Would be something that I would look to be doing, something like that. Unless something has gone on, which we don't know, that he's said that he wants to go so and so. But just the thing with the Lacazette, there was a little bit of a rumor that he was going to go to Atletico Madrid, but that didn't happen. And so I don't really know.
That only didn't happen because of the transfer ban, mate.
Yeah. So did he want to go there? But he's at us with us now. He seems very, very happy. I think listen, Craig, do you think Neymar really wanted to leave Barcelona to go to PSG? Realistically, what has made him?
Yeah, I do.
Do you reckon, or do you reckon that it took a pay cut then to go there?
Well, he probably wouldn't.
Like money talks, Craig.
Well, money does talk, but I don't.
Money talks. You know what I mean?
It looked to me. I mean, I've been looking at a few videos on YouTube actually, and it looks like, this is going to sound ridiculous now, but I've seen a few YouTube videos there, and it looks like Neymar was kind of bullied by some of the other players. Like Suarez was always at him, kicking him, and it's just go on YouTube and watch and type in Suarez and Neymar. Now, don't get me wrong, Neymar gives it back as good as he gets it, but he's forced to give it back, kind of thing. I think Neymar was very unhappy at Barcelona. And people might be saying to me, how could Neymar be?
Well, he's going there as a number one, isn't he? You know what I mean? Like, I think he's probably number 3 out of them. I think you'd put Suarez and obviously Messi in front of him. But I do think that money talks, Craig. You know what I mean? And I really do.
Well, I mean, 800 grand a week, mate.
Listen. I go back to in 1994 or 3 when Blackburn were. Do you think Alan Shearer really desperately dreamt about going to Blackburn? No, you know what I mean? But he went there because they were paying the most money. And not only that, they were saying to him, look, you come here, we're going to get so-and-so, we're going to go and win the league, which they did. But they wouldn't have done that on a shoestring. To get someone like Alan Shearer to Blackburn, you had to pay, when you got Manchester United chasing him at the time, the biggest club. But at the end of the day, he chose Blackburn. Now, come on, you've got to be realistic about that. You know what I mean? Like, not knocking Blackburn, they went on and won the league for a few seasons. But once the money dried up and it wasn't available, where are Blackburn now?
Absolutely, mate, yeah.
It is about money. So give these players what they want. Now, I'll have an argument with anybody like Arsene Wenger, whether we think he's a good manager or not, competes with all the other managers on wages. He's close to being one of the best. Well, why can't we? If he's up there at the top earners of the world in managing terms, why can't we get players on the same? I.e. the Sanchez's of this world, i.e. the Ozils. And if it's going to take 200 grand a week to get Van Dijk over the line, so be it. It's not my money.
Yeah.
Agreed, mate. I do agree with you, Harry. Do you think that there's going to be more rivals? Hand on heart. Do you think there's going to be more rivals? Yeah.
Hand on heart. I don't know. Like right now, I don't think there will be. This Lamar thing doesn't seem to be happening. It's just like it's going on and on and on. It is Groundhog Day, really. It's yet again we've been promised a lot. And not a lot's been delivered. Like, we're having fun talking about the tank. Yeah, he's a great addition, brilliant, the strength, everything else. Lacazette is a great signing, but there's areas where we are seriously lacking. And like you're saying, we finished 5th last season with this squad of players. And we're talking about Sanchez all the time. We're talking about Ozil all the time. They were very much part of the team last season. Don't forget. Do you know what I'm saying? There's certain areas that still need filling. There's certain areas that I consider very weak. I'm not happy going in next week, and I can't see him spending any. I mean, I can't see any more transfers coming through. I can't really see it. What have we got now? We've got a week and a half.
Yeah, man.
Well, we got the transfer.
We said I think 5 or 6 podcasts back that we weren't going to judge Arsene Wenger until Friday.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. We said right. That was what was that, Lee? 6 weeks ago, I suppose.
Yeah,
7 weeks ago. We said right. Match day 1. That's when we'll judge him. And at the moment, it's not looking too good, is it?
No, if we be honest about it, we're going in weak, aren't we? We're going in weak defensively, whatever happens.
Lee, sorry to jump in across you there, but I want to get the opinion of both of you on this. What do we say to the people that say, "Oh, calm down. There's still 2 weeks left of the transfer window"? What do you say to them people, Lee?
Well, I would say that you said that last year, and the year before that, and the year before that, and the year before that. You know what? Listen, there's 2 things I think pre-season's there. What is pre-season for? It's to prepare you for the season. What's coming ahead? You know, Arsene Wenger hasn't played the team that's going to probably play on Friday, or his best team, what I believe is his best team, all pre-season. You know, and listen, people are saying we've got Leicester, right? Do not underestimate Leicester on you know, that they come up here last season against us when we got a 0-0 draw. Do you remember when Monreal got a deflected goal? It was tough going. Tough going. The season before that, they went down to 10 men and we scored in the last minute. Don't write these off. They're not no mugs. And we're going into it without Sanchez, without Ozil, without Ramsey.
No Ramsey, yeah.
Without Mustafi, possibly without Mertesacker. You know, so you're saying right, all right, give these guys a chance. You know, it's like someone like Iwobi's going to have a chance now to really shine. You know what I mean? But you know, is Iwobi going to do what Sanchez does? And the answer is no. You know, but you know, so from my point of view, listen, I'm hoping that we'll win. I'll be cheering the boys on and all that. But would you put your mortgage on it?
No bloody way.
No, you know what I mean. Look, anything can happen in this game now. You know what I mean. But if everybody was fit and available, you know, I think someone said a very, very good point the other day. Sanchez, you know what I mean. Just going to go quickly onto him. Vidal's back playing for Bayern Munich. They finished the same tournament at the same day, the same minute, everything else. Why is he back and Sanchez is not? You know, and it, you know, I'll be very interested to see if Mustafi plays, because Mustafi played in that game on in the Confederates Cup. Now, Arsene Wenger said in his press conference today that even if Sanchez was fit, he wouldn't play him because he played in the Confederates Cup. So Mustafi was in the same game. So if he plays him, what does that say? You know what I mean? Like, so there's lots of question marks again going into the season, Craig. You know what I mean?
I think what we'll do is I've got a few questions here already. We're halfway through the show. Thanks for everyone who's joined us. 200 of you. That's lovely. Watching us talk this evening.
That's with Big Brother, you know, celebrity Big Brother on, you know. So,
is it really?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was on.
Yeah, you know.
If you're watching us for the first time, don't forget to give us a subscription. And, of course, you can come and follow us on Twitter at the same old AFC. Tonight we are joined by Harry Shotter, and what a pleasure it is to have him here. Now, let's move. I've got a couple of questions here. Now, if you've got questions, I think I'm going to give Lee the job again. If you've got any questions, tweet them to Lee at LeeMarkJudges, and we will answer as many as we can. Let's just get to this. Excuse me now while I'm fiddling with my phone. Very unprofessional of me not to.
I've got one. First one. Do you want me to hit the first one?
Yep, go on then.
Come through. I don't know who it's for. I'll try and flick through it. Very good one. He said, would you swap Alexis Sanchez for Julian Draxler?
Oh, wow.
Because if that did happen, he's going to be surplus to the Cardinals. Because don't forget, they've got Di Maria there now. They've got Neymar. And if they were to get Sanchez, that's alongside centre forward they've got as well, isn't it? I can't think of his name now.
A straight swap.
We'd probably have to pay a bit of cash, wouldn't we? Because we're one.
Is he talking a straight swap?
Well, it just says I can't find a tweet now, but I thought it was a very good one. But
Well, look, it's like if I knew that he wasn't going to sign next year, then I'd swap him. Straight swap.
We don't know. Yet. We don't know.
This is the thing, mate. This is
and lies.
Yeah. If I said, yeah, I'd swap him, and then he says, oh, well, I was going to sign on for another 2 years, you know. If he come out and told us that he's leaving, then, yeah, of course, I'd swap him. Absolutely, I would.
That would make sense. But with the Sanchez thing, it's so up in the air. Like, we don't know. Like, every little thing he does, we analyse. He kisses his badge. Is that a sign that he's staying? You know, he waves. Oh, is that him waving goodbye to us? Do you know what I mean? He motions to the floor and press. You know what I mean? Every little thing he does, we analyse because he's not giving anything away. At least with Ozil, we kind of says he wants to play for the team, and you know he's made certain statements that would give us hope and whatever. With Sanchez, we don't really know. I mean, we obviously know what he said about he wants to play Champions League. He's not really come out and made any positive statements about Arsenal. Everything would suggest that he wants to go, but we don't know that. He looks in training. He looks happy. He looks happy to be back with the team. Obviously now we've got these injuries, and like he's not going to be playing on Friday. And Wenger said maybe for 2 weeks. So is this a bit fishy? I mean, what's going on? We don't know. So to me personally, I love Sanchez. I just like he's one of my favourite players, man. I'd be absolutely gutted to see him go. Yeah. I would love for him to stay, but I want him to play for the team as well. I want him to want to play for Arsenal. Do you know what I'm saying? To me,
absolutely, man.
Yeah, I think
that's the big thing. Yeah,
right
on the head there.
Yeah.
But my worry is this. You know, when I sit down, I'm one of those people that overanalyze things. And I did actually tweet after the Charity Shield. I was sitting in that bar and watching him wave, and I was like, "Oh no!" You know, that's just my brain. He could have been just, you know, hello, yeah, lovely, thank you very much, no problem, nothing in it. But my brain's going, what's he waving for? Who's he waving? Is that goodbye? Or But someone told me the other day, he says that I reckon Sanchez will sign a new contract if we qualify for the Champions League next year.
This is what I heard.
To which, yeah, but I'll give you my answer, Harry. Right? He knows, and we know that he ain't winning no Champions League playing for Arsenal. He ain't going to win a Champions League playing for Arsenal. Am I right or am I wrong?
Well, he ain't going to win it this year, is he?
History would make you right. History would make you right, mate.
You think so? Oh, well, I bloody hope so.
Yeah.
I bloody hope so. But I can't see us winning the Champions League. You know what I mean? Come on now, lads. Let's get real.
I think,
you know, people have a go at me on Twitter for being negative. It's not being negative. It's just being real.
I do think that we could win the Champions League if we went and bought the right players. I don't think that we're that far. We're that far off, and that's why the frustration comes in, Craig. You know what I mean? If they were to go and buy, say, Van Dijk and another big centre midfield player, some of the football we played on Sunday, I know it's only a friendly, was sensational in that first half.
It was.
It was really intricate. It was good play. We'd open up a lot of teams like that. You know, we have got some half decent players, but we've got to when you look at teams like Real Madrid and you know, I've watched them, like they've got proper defenders in proper places. You know what I mean? Like Ramos. You know, you go back to Barcelona, as good as they were, they had Puyol. You know what I mean? They've always got these proper defenders, and we've got to realise that you know, defending is important. It's just as important as attacking, and it really is. And I don't think, but you know, going back to the Sanchez thing, you know, have the club really done enough to say to him, "Oh, I want you to stay"? Do you know, I mean, if I was Sanchez, for instance, and we'd signed Van Dijk and we'd signed another midfield player, plus Lacazette, plus the tank, I'd think to myself, "Oh, I don't know, I might want to stick around here." But you know, we're frustrated as fans, don't you? Realistically, he could be frustrated as a player. You know,
I think a lot of that is truly. I think last season that's what we saw with him. We see frustration with him with the rest of the team.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Hang on a second, right?
Is at the pram, but I think his passion.
He goes over to Chile, right? And playing for Chile, he nearly snaps his ankle in half. All right? And the next week, he's back playing for us.
Well, unbelievable.
Right? And now he's telling us he's not. This is just me looking into it. People can tell me whatever they like. It's only opinion, and it's just me having a look at it. You mean to tell me he's not going to play now because he's got an abdominal strain?
Well, Craig, personally, if you want my personal opinion, he's gone now. You know, something's happened.
I think so as well.
You don't. He's not going to play now till the transfer window's shut. He won't play against.
It can't be coincidence that it's 2 weeks. 2 weeks to go, and he's not playing for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Did you see the reports as well? There were reports saying that the board wanted to obviously get shot of him, get the nice money in, but Wenger was adamant that he's staying. I mean, you can't believe all these reports, but this is what's been put out there in the media. Do you know what I mean?
And exactly this, Harry, and I agree with your thoughts there. There is no way Stan Kroenke is going to let Alexis Sanchez walk for free. Not on your Nelly, mate.
Well, I don't think he should be allowed. Listen, Craig, you know, this is my biggest gripe, that we're penny pinching to try and buy Lamar. We're penny pinching to buy whoever we're going to go and buy. We're not prepared to go overboard on this player and that player, but we're prepared to let £67 million worth of talent leave for nothing.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. Now, if PSG have come back and offered, say, 30 million, I can understand us turning that down. But if they've come in this weekend and said, I'll tell you what, we give you 70 million, I don't see how you can turn that down. I really don't. You know what I mean? You know, and if they did, it's ludicrous. You know what I mean? Like, because at some stage in the next 2 years, Sanchez will be gone anyway. You know what I mean? He'd be 30. So, you know, listen, you know, if they could get Draxler in, and you know, at least you get someone that wants to come and play for the club long term, I think that's the way to go. And Arsene Wenger, listen, the other thing is, lads, if he does sell him now, Arsene Wenger has made himself look stupid because he's turned around and said, no, it's not happening, it's not happening.
Yeah.
But if you watched his press conference, I don't know if you guys watched it, but he looked so uncomfortable in it, scratching his head like all the time. Yeah, today, like, you know, they's asking him questions and he's looked very, very nervous. He shot down a few questions before they was getting to the answers, you know. And I listen, it's not that Arsene Wenger, I don't trust him and all that. I think somewhere along the line he's had to, you know, play poker, if you like, with this, you know what I mean? But ultimately it's going to come down to it that he's now got a strain and he's out. I just think the writing's on the wall, you know. Sad to say, but I think it is.
Yeah, I've got to agree with you. I've looked at, you know, I sat down and I've looked at the jigsaw puzzle, you know. When you put it together, it doesn't look good for us. It doesn't look good for us. One, in my opinion, if he was going to sign, he would have done it already. Champions League or no Champions League, if he wanted to come here. Two, an abdominal strain. Come on, boys.
Yeah, these are bad signs for me. I was hopeful.
Yeah,
because I'm such a Sanchez fan.
I'm a massive Sanchez fan, mate. I love the bloke.
Why didn't they come out Sunday though? You know, he was walking around the ground Sunday. Apparently, he got it on the Sunday morning. I didn't see Wiltshire there on Sunday. So if he's, you know, if you've got an abdominal injury or something, wouldn't you be having treatment on it in the afternoon? Would you be strolling around Wembley afterwards? It just doesn't seem right. Just so many things don't seem right about it. And it's true what somebody said today. We're all, you know, conspiracy theorists now because that's what's been happening, because we don't know, you know. Listen, if Sanchez had signed a 4-year contract 2 weeks ago and Wenger come out today and said he's got a strained muscle, we'd all believe it, wouldn't we? You know,
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, but because of all this is going on, we just don't believe it. You know what I mean? It's, you know,
the Arsenal X-Files, eh?
Yeah.
I think we've been lied to too many times. As well.
Yeah.
We haven't got that faith in the manager. Even when he's saying he's not leaving, he said that to the press 3 or 4 times. I think the first couple of times I believed Arsene, even though I'm looking back at Van Persie and Nazari and all these.
Exactly. That's what I was just about to say.
Do you know what I'm saying? We've heard these porkies before, mate. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, what's going to be the difference here? When he first said it, when he was adamant he wasn't going, I thought, okay, but we keep getting these signs now. You know, when he puts the Instagram picture up, sick. I can't play with that face like that. And now we've got this. It's like you said, mate. I think the writing could be on the wall. Yeah. I'm trying to keep that little bit of hope.
I'm trying to keep that, but I'll tell you what now, which is a strange situation. I'll watch Jurgen Klopp saying that Coutinho is definitely not for sale. I don't believe him neither. You know what I mean? Like, it's not having a go at Arsene Wenger here. You know, I watched Klopp the other day, and he's going, "Oh, he's definitely not for sale." I'm going, "He is. It's going to happen." You know what I mean?
But it's funny you should say that, because I don't believe that Arsene Wenger will be to blame if he does go. Can you imagine the immense pressure that's on Arsene Wenger from the board about this? You know, because Sanchez is an asset to them. You know, he's pound notes.
Should have been sorted out a long time ago, Craig. That's the key. You know what I mean?
Well, that's the key. But at the moment,
they're all to blame. Wenger's to blame. The board's to blame. Yeah. They're all to blame.
I think he looks nervous because I think he looks nervous because he knows that the shit is about to go down.
Yeah, and it's going to come down on him, Craig.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you know what I mean? Like, you know, and what will happen is if we lose to Leicester and then we lose to Stoke and then we've got Liverpool after that. Say we lost those 3 games, God forbid, Sanchez goes, Wenger's going to be getting it big time. And it ain't just him. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it's so important this game Friday to get off to a good start because of what's going to be round the corner. You know, because there's no waves being mentioned about Ozil's not signing his contract, whether that's all agreed or whatever. But no one's saying nothing about him. He's got an ankle injury. He could be in the same boat. You know what I mean? Like, and Aaron Ramsey, by the way's got contracts. All of a sudden, he's gone down with an injury. Now, I was talking to Claude the other day. They all had these injuries, but they was all at the Members' Day training. And all of a sudden, now they're injured. You know, the conspiracy theories come out again. You know, it's just, are they injured or is it because of things? Yeah, I know. But it does make you wonder.
With Lee Mulder, the judge.
Yeah, it does, you know, I don't know, you know.
It's just not good to have all this uncertainty before the game on Friday. It's not good. And you look at the last season, Liverpool, our first game, even was it Villa the season before that?
West Ham, you know.
West Ham, yeah.
West Ham. We've not got a good starting record. We need to break that. And at the moment, going in with all this uncertainty, all the Sanchez stuff, these injuries, is not a good way to start, man. And you know, the way we've behaved in the transfer window is just not what we wanted as fans. It's not what we were promised. It's not what I expected when he extended his contract, which I would say now is for selfish financial reasons.
Yeah.
Not for the love of the club and to push the club forward and to take us to the top again, really.
I don't see how anyone can defend his decision. I don't. No. And I'll be honest with you, and I'll be honest with everyone. I fell for it. Hook, line, and sinker. When he signed Lacazette, I thought Lamar was going to turn up a week later. I thought this is it. This is it. He's actually woken up from this managerial coma that he's been in for 10 years. He's woken up. Arsene Wenger is back. But nah, Groundhog Day again. Here we are, sitting here now, 3 Arsenal fans.
Yeah.
Talking 2 days before the Premier League starts about how our star player's going to leave, how we haven't got enough defenders, and you know, it's just the same old Arsenal.
Yeah, it is.
Isn't it just? Lee, any more questions, mate?
Yeah, one's coming in, which is a good one from Danny Cook. Just said, what do you think Chambers has done wrong? Because in the under-21s, he's ahead of Holding in the, you know, got in front of Holding in every game. I thought played very, very well in that competition, what I see of it as well. But doesn't seem to get a look in. Reasons. What do you think there's been a falling out? What do you think he's done wrong?
I don't think he's done anything wrong. I think he looked really good in pre-season from the games I saw. I wouldn't understand why we'd be looking to shift him apart from in my mind to bring someone else in. But you know, it doesn't look like we're making these moves to bring anyone else in. Do you know what I'm saying? There's certain people that I think Arsenal are trying to move on, whether that's Gibbs, whether that's Chambers, Debussy, Jenkinson, these guys. But Chambers is one that I'd probably like to keep, to be honest.
Oh, I'd love to keep.
Out of the names I just mentioned.
Yeah,
I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan.
I can't see how. I think what happened with Rob Holding was that he made such a massive impact when he played for us, and there was such a hullabaloo about him that perhaps Arsene Wenger felt a bit pressurised to keep playing him. I'm not, and if that is the case, it's the wrong, it's for all the wrong reasons. But Rob Holding has, in my opinion, has answered the call, and for me, is in a back three of Koscielny, Mustafi, and Holding for me, over Monreal, over Gabriel. That's just my personal opinion. I don't think Chambers has done anything wrong, but I just think that Rob Holding hit the ground running.
I agree. I agree with that. But I'd keep Chambers and sell Gabriel if it was my.
I'll probably agree with that and all, mate, as well. I mean, I can remember when we brought Chambers, and I think Luke Shaw went to Manchester United, didn't he, for, I don't know, 30 million or something like that. And I was actually a buddy there on Twitter who supported Southampton, and he said it should have been the other way around. He said it was Chambers that should have gone for 30 million, and Luke Shaw that had gone for 12. That's a massive compliment from a man that's watched him play a lot longer than us. I'd hate to see Chambers go. I think he's still got. I still think he's got a role to play at Arsenal. Definitely. Maybe not this season. What's that, mate?
Was it Palace who was sniffing around him?
Yeah, I think
Palace is sniffing around him.
Yeah.
I'd certainly let him go out on loan again. I would. I'd let him have another loan deal.
I don't see why I put him out on loan and then sell him the next season. I don't understand that. But
that's very Arsenal, isn't it?
Yeah. Michael O'Neill sent a good question in. I think we might have had this one before, but we'll go for it again. Would you swap Sanchez for Aguero?
That is a good question. I don't personally. I wouldn't. I'd keep Sanchez. I'd keep Sanchez for us. I think if he wants to play for Arsenal, if he's got that passion that we all see in him, that drives teams, that really forces the goals out, that puts the pressure on everyone else around him. If he was to become more of a leader at Arsenal and really, really kiss that badge and love that badge, I would keep Sanchez all day long. But we don't know what his dedication is to our team. We don't know because, like I said earlier, no one is bigger than the Arsenal Football Club to me.
Absolutely.
But out of the two, I'd keep Sanchez all day.
Yeah, again, my answer is going to be similar to the Draxler one. If I knew he was going, all day, come on. But would I swap him for Aguero if he was under contract? Nah, I'm with Harry. No way, mate. I wouldn't swap him for Aguero.
Dave Edwards has just put in a fantastic question, and I've got to bring it up. It's a brilliant question. It just says, Lee, if the club are prepared to let Sanchez go for nothing, why don't they let the Deadwood go for free as well?
Oh,
wow. Good point.
I like it.
That's a fantastic point, isn't it? If they're prepared to, probably going to let Debussy go for nothing anyway. But what a fantastic question.
Yeah. But again, it comes back to what I said. There ain't no way Kroenke's letting players go for nothing.
Yeah. When Kroenke's there, that's the problem.
Yeah.
So what are we saying now then? What by that statement then, are we saying that we're going to see in this next 2 weeks Chamberlain go to Chelsea then? And Ozil go if they're not signing their contracts, Craig?
No, but what I'm saying is, right, we know that Sanchez ain't staying here. There's people trying to hold on to the fact, right, and I get it. They're trying to hold on to the fact, no, he's staying. I get it. I'm like them. I just don't want to admit the truth, right? But what Dave has just said there is, as you've very well said, it's a great question. If next year they're gonna let Alexis Sanchez walk out for nothing, right? Then, which I don't think they will, by the way. I think, like I said, he's going to be sold. They're not going to let the others walk out for nothing because you'll want money for them. All right, we spent 40 million on. Was it 37 point something on Sanchez? Was it?
He was in.
Yeah, when we bought him. So that's a £40 million profit if we get 80 for him, right? He's going to want money for the other players, whether they go to here, there, or anywhere. He's going to want money for him. He's not going to let him walk out for free.
Mm.
And that's just the way I feel about it. And that's why I think that's why we're probably clogged up. And that's why we can't obviously bring in anyone in, because the players that we've got here are earning too much money.
Yeah, they are.
Fringe players are earning too much money. And that's how he said at the start of the show. They're not going to want to leave because they're earning too much money. Ozil, you mentioned Ozil. At least Ozil has come out and said that he wants to stay and he wants to play for Arsenal. So I think why we haven't heard of Ozil is because we're not digging up Ozil, because he said, "Oh, all right, okay, he wants to stay and he wants to play for Arsenal." That's why we're not digging on Ozil. Probably why people are digging out Chamberlain and Sanchez, because
Chamberlain hasn't come out and said nothing.
Chamberlain come out and said anything. He hasn't. No, he hasn't come out and said, "I want to play for Arsenal. We'll see what my advisors are going to do for me. Well, I'll speak to the club and we'll see what happens. But I can assure you, the fans, I'll do everything I can to stay here. This is where I want to be." At least those will come out and said, something along those lines. And Sanchez and Chamberlain haven't. So that's why they're being digged out. But to go back to David's question, there ain't no chance that Kroenke is letting no one walk out of there for nothing. That's my opinion, anyway.
Yeah, not. Great argument what he said. I think it's a good debate. You know what I mean? In my mind, certain people just let them go for free. Do you know what I mean? If you're prepared to do that for Sanchez, why aren't you prepared to do that for the dead wood at the club? There's a lot of dead wood there that needs cleaning out, in my mind. You replace with some killers.
Yeah, there's loads of dead wood. Loads of it. It's ridiculous. Right. You could, what have you got in there? I mean, it hates me it pains me to call Kieran Gibbs deadwood. Pains me to call him that, because he's been an absolute professional while he's been at Arsenal.
Yeah,
he's never complained, or well, we've never heard him complain. You got your players like Sonogo, who's already gone, Debussy,
Jenkinson.
I mean, this Wellington Silva player. I mean, I said it last week. How Arsenal is that? We bring him on loan. We bring him back off loan to sell him, and he can't get a bloody work permit. Who else is there?
What's happened to Akpom?
Akpom went to Hull, mate.
Has he gone up to Hull?
Sold him, yeah. And another player I can't believe he let go was Afobe. I can't believe he let him go. Another player there that could have been chomping at the bit now this season,
You got Jack Wilshere as well. That's still got to be sorted out. What's going on there?
Jack Wilshere has come out in the press and said he wants to fight for his place.
Yeah, I saw that.
All right, Jack, you stay here, son, and you fight for your place. That would be my answer. If we get to January and he's still fighting and he can't get in the team, then perhaps it's time to let him go. What do you reckon, Harry?
It'd be a sad day, that,
Very sad day.
Sad day, that will be.
He's a personal favourite of mine.
Yeah, I was saying about him. I like, good player. Just tragic about the injury side of it. It's real.
It just plagued his career, man.
Yeah,
just someone with that much potential.
Look at the state of the three of us here sitting here. Like we're like the world is going to implode on us. People call us, the people on Twitter that call us, it started to happen there the last few weeks that we're negative. I won't call it negative. I would call it just, we're talking about how we see it.
Yeah, I think what it is, Craig, we're just trying to address the problems, mate. Like, we're sick and tired of the same old things, same old Arsenal every season, and we're just trying to come up with logical and real answers to these problems rather than dancing around them. And do you know what I mean? You can't be Thai all the time. Do you know what I mean? You can't be like that the whole time. You have to address the problems. We're all sick of the same BS every season. We're sick of Groundhog Day. We're sick of these transfer windows. Do you know what I mean? We coming fifth last season. What a blow. Do you know what I mean? Tottenham coming above us for the first time. It's all these things that have mounted up for me. and I don't want to see that next season. So I'd rather talk about it, address the issues, and see what we can do to solve the problems to make the club great again, rather than just saying, yeah, the league's going to be fine. We've got Lacazette, brilliant. We've got the tank, great bit of business. Yeah, let's go into the Leicester game, all happy. You know, I'd rather address the problems. Do you know what I'm saying?
Talking about addressing problems, Harry, which is right. Claude's come in there and he said a very good point as well. You know, apart from take Holding out of the equation, why are we as a fan base, not us as a fan base, content to keep the others defenders that say have leaked 10 goals against Bayern Munich, 5 against Crystal Palace? You know what I mean? Why are we believing that those defenders are going to change? You know, like, oh, so why is that? You know what I mean? There is that, you know, was it head in sand syndrome with Arsenal fans? Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Why, you know, he's right what he's saying. We can see
very good question, to be honest, and he's right. It's a great point.
It's a very good point. We conceded 10 goals ago. I'm not just saying it's the back 4 or the back 3, but he's right. We're all of a sudden we're saying that Mustafi's going to be this great player. Koscielny, you know, Koscielny's been at the club for 6-7 years. Have we ever challenged for a title while he's been our central defender? No. You know, you've got a bit of harsh reality, and that's where we come from. I look at it, you know, I don't want to bury my head in the sand and believe that everything's going to be rosy. I want to see actions, you know what I mean? I want to go into the season full of optimism. You know, I'd love to be my Man City fan at the moment with all those players that they've bought, going into the season feeling like, you know, we're ready to go for the title. I haven't felt like that since 2005.
A long time.
But to answer Claude's point, I think it just goes to show how far behind the rest of Europe we are. You know, in the Premier League, Mustafi and Koscielny look half decent. You know, when you get out to Europe and you're playing against the Lewandowskis and the Vidals and the, you know, and the Messis and, you know, etc., etc., we actually find out how good our players are. You know,
you get found out.
Absolutely, yeah.
I think Mustafi as well is we're gonna have to watch him this year, because I think when he first came, he had a nice little partnership with Koscielny. Remember the Chelsea game? They were bossing it like.
It looked really good.
And when he got injured and he came back, he never had that spark again. Do you know what I mean? So it's like we need him to reclaim that spark. We need him to really like fight for his position in the team, because Mustafi's one of them ones I'm going to be watching, because I'm not fully 100%.
No, I'm with you, Harry. I'm with you.
Not at this point.
Yeah. I don't know. I think he's still got time to come good. I hope, as I said about Xhaka, that you know, this year he'll come good. I hope he does anyway. You know, for the sake of everyone, for the sake of the team, for the sake of the fans. I just want to close up on another player that moved this week, Matic. He was a player that Arsene Wenger should have gone for, Lou. Yes or no?
No. I believe bit similar to Xhaka. I'll be honest.
But not an upgrade on Elneny.
It's difficult to say, isn't it? Like when you see the way.
Come on, lads.
Yeah. I like Matic. I've got to say that. I do think that. But is he 29, 30 now? I'd like to see us going for someone a little bit younger, if I'll be honest. You know, there's a reason Chelsea have let him go. I don't think he was quite as dominant as he was last season, as he was in the seasons before. Maybe a little bit, you know, I don't know. It's a tough one, that is. Like, you know what I mean? Listen, I think that Man United need him more than perhaps Arsenal needed him, if I'll be honest. Do you understand what I'm saying from that point of view?
I do. Harry, would you have had him? Would you have had it? Would you have brought him in?
I don't know. I'm a bit with Lee on this one. I don't think we necessarily need him there. Do you know what I mean? I think Elneny can do. I think Elneny can do a good job. I think Elneny isn't the greatest player in the world, but I also think he's underrated as well. I think he can do the job. I think you could see the way he played with Xhaka on the Sunday. I thought he played really good. So I wouldn't say that. I mean, I'm just all about this defense. I think our defense is our main point of call right now. I think we really need, Van Dijk's the guy, I think, and the reason why we're not going for him and doing everything we can in our power, whether it's the money, whether it's to convince him, whatever we have to do to convince him. I think that's the missing link for us right now. Do you know what I mean?
I totally agree, Eric. Totally agree.
What's this
and we're not moving. It doesn't look like so.
Ganging up on me. I'm going to end it up here. Getting a bit bullied.
Just before we go, just one thing. I just want to say, let's do a little thing. Let's do a little prediction for Friday. What do we think? What do we think? We can come back and address it.
Just got to say, Harry, he's coming into this little co-host role, isn't he? The last week.
Yeah, he's smashing it.
They're up to me now.
We'll have a little competition, like me, you versus the guest. We'll see who comes up at the end of the day with the most.
All right then. Okay. So, have you got your pen and paper then?
Yeah, I've got a great memory.
Right. Okay. Craig Scott of the Same Old AFC podcast says 3-1 Arsenal.
Ambitious.
I just broke my pen.
I'm actually going to go with 2-1 Arsenal. I think we're going
Harry's
to win.
2-1.
2-1 Arsenal, yeah.
Lee?
Great minds think alike, Harry. You know what I mean? Because I'm gonna go 2-1 as well. I think that it will. I just got a feeling that I think we're going to nick it. Maybe wishful thinking, but I've just got a feeling that we're going to nick it.
Mm.
Well, that's 3 wins anyway.
Yeah.
So for all the people that say we're negative, there's a positive.
There's a positive.
There you go.
There you go. Like, you know what I mean? So it ain't all doom and gloom.
Yeah, that's it. It's not all doom and gloom. Harry, thank you very much for coming on, mate.
Thank you, Harry. Been a pleasure.
Pleasure having you here.
Talking about football. It's fun. Like I said, I don't miss a podcast, mate. So it's good to actually come on and chat to you guys, man. Good stuff.
Thanks very much, mate. We really appreciate
that, Harry. Appreciate it.
We'll get you on again when you've got a bit of free time, because I know you've got a hectic schedule, mate. And
catch you at a game, Harry. We'll see you at one of the games.
Anyone that likes. Sorry, lads. I've got to carry on.
No, I was just saying, I spoke to him on the Friday, but I couldn't get a ticket in the end. So.
Right, that way. So.
I need to go to an away game though. So.
Yeah. Get you to an away game, like we'll do one night. You know, come on, Tony. Come on, Tony's tours, like come on one of them, like where it's like, Yeah. I'll sort that out. Like, go on the old coach. We'll get you up. Do a bit of rapping at the front as well, like So we'll do that.
For bars, yeah.
Yeah, a few bars. You got to do that, like We do a thing where we pick 3 songs that you're allowed, so you can do a bit of rapping, like
All right, sweet mate, all good.
Brilliant. You can wake up now, Craig.
Oh, well, that's all right. I'll just put the telly on. I forgot what I was going to say now.
Bye, would help.
Yeah, bye. Yeah, thanks for everyone who's been watching live. Who's been with us for the hour and a bit. We really appreciate it. And thanks for the views on the YouTube thing and SoundCloud as well. We're still getting a good amount of listeners on SoundCloud. We're getting, I can't believe the amount of viewers. The amount of viewers we're getting on YouTube is quite humbling, to be honest. Thank you very much for all your support. We'll be here all this season. We have a season to look forward to in 2 days' time. Thank God the football is back. Competitive football. Yeah, I don't know what I'm expecting. Let's see if I'm still
same old Arsenal
in November. But as I say again, if you haven't subscribed, please do, and follow us on Twitter at Same Old Arsenal. If you're into a bit of drum and bass, go and check out Harry at Harry Shotter. All Harry stuff is up on his website and all up on iTunes. So if you're up on iTunes or you want to go to his website, you're into a bit of drum and bass, go over there and support Harry. New album out, mate, is it?
Working on a new album at the moment. I've been in the studio today, so before the end of
new album on the way.
Yeah, on the way, mate. On the way.
Brilliant.
Lovely. Leo, have a bit of that.
I'll have a bit of that on the old minibus when it comes out. Like, it'll be one of my songs, Harry. Right, I promise. Like,
songs.
Yeah.
songs. One of my
Whatever it is. What would you actually call it then?
track.
Oh, it's a track.
Fucking
Harry, I'll have one of your tracks on the minibus, okay, for an away game.
You up for some rapping like I got DT and Heavy D to do on the charity single?
Well, there you go, like I'll see.
One more thing to do. Thanks very much, everyone, and enjoy the game on Friday if you can. And we'll see you.
Count it, Arsenal.
We'll see you next Wednesday when our guests will be Amanda and Lee Gunner. So that will be next Wednesday at 9:30.
Oh, all positive.